silence was broken by an eerie scream of Kira as her body began to melt. Freedom was just about 10 feet from them. Trees began to twist, whipping spears like branches. Ahead was a vast space free of trees. They escaped Savvarah. The branches must have pierced her body. Her eyes lay down in the grass beside the breathless Kira, as if hoping things would be different after sleep. It did not seem like an ordinary dream. In such dreams, Savvarah could control himself, but somewhere in his subconscious he was still aware of the unreality of what was happening. There was dark haze all around. If Savvarah was right in the middle of a thick cloud, there was nothing under his feet. I've been waiting for you for a long time. Who's there? My name will tell you nothing. In your world, it was often called the Teacher. My name is Dahar. Are you part of my dream? No. I am inside your consciousness. I cannot communicate with the other creatures of your world in any other way. Not yet, at least. Figure materialized out of the darkness. It had a fuzzy humanoid shape. Its eyes were burning with the blue flame. There was no face in the darkness. I know what you are. You were created by magic, as were all your kind. You were created by those you call masters. What are you? You'll find out soon. I'll tell you everything from the beginning, but certainly answer your question. Tell me, what do you know of the masters? Everything seemed very suspicious. Behind the darkness could have been Akal himself. They created us for the war with the Horned Ones. Then when the Horned Ones fled, we became their servants. Is that all? If you are that a teacher, you must know everything yourself. Why aren't you a tricky one? That's right. I know everything, but I wanted to know what you knew. Well, maybe I should start from the beginning. You see, your world is not the only one, and the endless stream of creation is only one of many. There are countless entities that fight for each world. What does entities mean? Gods, not like a call, but true gods, whose power stretches across the entire world. Akal is not a god. No, he is not a god. He is just an insect who gained too much power because of my mistake. Are you that entity? That's right. Creatures like you certainly think of me and mine kinds as gods, but I am just one who had been able to transcend the limitations of mortality. I am Datar. They call me King of Freedom. But let me finish, Savvarah. You can still ask me questions later. Your world is once part of an empire, spanning hundreds of worlds. I was the one who destroyed the ruler of that giant empire. Then the net that linked the worlds together was shattered. Only the wormholes leading to the entire worlds remained. They are infernal, so they allow neither in nor out, but energy circulates freely between worlds. It is also the source of what you like to call magic. At the site of one of those wormholes, I discovered the local tribes. They were few in the number and primitive, but I was fortunate because they were very adept at handling the energy. As far as I know, the locals were in service of the lords of the past kingdom. I taught them how to use energy from between the world and my world. The local became powerful. They made the arid land fertile, built a real city, and obeyed me. They called me teacher, but my best disciple was the third son of the chief, Akal. He was the first to realize that my influence on your world was limited. Akal betrayed me. He enclosed the whole land you called Savvarah under the dome. through which he continued to pump out endless energy, using the other Lakal people as conduits. I don't know how he did it. I think he had help from my enemies. He did not share his secret with anyone, so he became godlike, even to the other Lakal people. Now you're near Savvarah, so you will be able to bridge the distance between the other world. Hers froze in amazement, unable to comprehend what is being said. The other worlds, entities capable of consuming other worlds, Lakal's teacher? His head was spinning. It's hard for you to understand it all, I know, but fortunately we do not have much time. What do you need of our world for? Your world is like so many others. I am King of Freedom. I bring free and equal life to all living beings. I allow everyone to be part of my limitless empire. That is, so you are a master over all. It is funny that you are trying to catch me. That's right. All beings under my power are free. This is not easy for you to comprehend, so you can understand something else. The other entities you seek your world are obsessed with enslavement and destruction, but I am almost the only protector of sentient beings. If you're so powerful, why do you need me? You are a creature born by the magic of the Lakal people. Lakal personally hand in your creation, so you're related to him as to a creator. It's difficult to explain, I need to take control of the Savvarah Rift, and you can be the key to that. But that's not all. If you help me, I will help you. I will give you a chance to get revenge on all your so-called masters, and I will give your entire species a chance. You will go from being beasts of Lakal people to being masters of Savvarah, and then to being respected people of my kingdom. Why can't you do it now? My abilities in your world are limited by the rifts. The Savvarah Rift is under Lakal's control, and now I can only communicate with you through this dream. There is nothing more to it. And how can I exactly help you? I want you to go to the rift that lies in the south between the mountains, where the kingdom of Shar lives. The creatures that live there worship me. First saw the whole world through in which the line of light was carried, to the path to the rift. What happened to them? You'll find out. How these creatures will understand me. They will understand. That's enough questions. I can't talk to you anymore. Remember, you have no choice. You are alone in this world, and no one else can give you what I can give you. You may not believe me, but there is no one around else you can trust. Then Havas fell into darkness. Lost land. His wake was abrupt. His whole body ached, and all thoughts were occupied by a mysterious dream. Havas remembered clearly. Usually his memory kept the dreams as only mere fragments, but the conversation with the entity who called himself Dahar turned to be clear and distinct. The deity who given him power to a call, won revenge in Havas's hands, could wrap his hand around it. Yesterday the world beyond Shara seemed so mythical, but now the creature who had appeared in the dream had told him everything would be absolutely insignificant in the string of multiple worlds. The wind was cool. I've seen used the warmth, but now I genuinely rejoiced at the fleeting manifestations of this little victory. The sky was gray. Sea of clouds and numerous cut through which the pitiful glimmers of sunlight passed. He looked at Kira. Vish did not want to leave her, but he didn't know what he could do with the body. He hugged Kira one last time, touching her forehead with his. I won't forget, I promise. Leaving Kira was the best thing he could have done. Kira sighed heavily and walked away without looking back. The guiding thread of which Dahar spoke. The faded line stretched from him in the distance. It must be a path to Shar. The mysterious thread was pale and transparent, but it was easy to lose sight of. But as soon as her focused his vision, he saw it. First, the outer world before Dahar's eyes did not seem very scenic. It looked rather shadowed and desert. Soon, the Zitbiana noticed this only a first impression. Red birds flew in the sky like ones of Hara. I've never seen clear skies above the Sun City. There were small animals crawling in the grass too. It was definitely colder air. Wes breathed the cool air with his nose, not used to it. He even coughed. Very little distance between Savvarah and this place, but he felt as if they were the other end of the world, or another world completely. Fortunately, a had made the air capable of withstanding harsh weather conditions. Once in a while, the sun's rays peeped through the clouds. Rose linked the new and unusual sight of the chaotic haze with the endless cloud. He was still happy to feel the warmth. The sudden peal of thunder made fresh thunder. He hardly suppressed the urge to run. In Savvarah, it was hard to imagine that something like this could happen on its own, without the constant messers of cult himself. There was no natural wonders in Savvarah, only the desire of the gods in the flesh, capable of controlling the weather, the solid earth, and even the flesh of the living beings. Who knows, maybe these clouds were also controlled by someone. The winds kicked up and drizzled rain, to sprinkle tiny droplets of harsh oils. Made him open his mouth, hoping to catch some moisture, which there was no lakes or other source of water nearby. Oils covered his eyes. The rain, the cold wind, the thunder made his heart beat faster. It was when nature was giving him a taste that alcohol was hiding from somewhere. Rush moved on. The sky was beginning turning scarlet. The sun was heading towards the horizon. This was approaching a dense forest. The forest was not like Savvarah. The trees were a little bit taller, the leaves were small and numerous. Just convinced that he had nothing to fear. Paul had created a tribe of with excellent killing tools. The vegetation grew tall. Trees seemed an impenetrable wall from the outsides, but traversing that and across the terrain was no problem for Savvarah, though it made him slow down. The forest seemed chaotic, almost impassable, intricate of branches, thick trunks turned to small grassy thickets, rare ravines. Ross came upon the corpse of an animal. It wasn't large, 4 legs, hoofs, and elongated muscle. A very short fur. The gut was torn up, white marks all over its body. Bird found the insects swarming the remains of the flesh now. Pungent and vicious smell of rot ripped through his nose. Predators were definitely at work here. Bird enough to finish this animal off, but small enough to roam free in the dense thicket. His gaze caught fragments of winds that might have been tracks of predator creatures, but it's hard to make out anything. The forest was very different from Savvarah. It's hard to track someone in such conditions when you're not used to it. It was dusk, and Horace couldn't move in total darkness. Besides, he did not know what kind of beasts were roaming in this forest. Without thinking twice, he climbed behind a tree. Not very comfortable to sleep on a branch, but there was some rustling creaking right in front of his nose. There was a good feeling that he was easily to fall to the ground. Eventually clawing at the bark, wrapping his tail around about, she fell asleep in the world. This time there were no dreams. No nightmares about Kura or Call, or mysterious Dahar. Only a void that seemed to last no longer than a minute, but in fact took his consciousness away the whole night. He woke up. He was still on the branch, though the foliage of the sunlight was breaking through to him. He also saw the clouds become quite sparse, short white ripples in the blue sky. Waking up the new world was something unusual for us. A drop of dew fell from the leaves right in the lizard's mouth. The whole forest gradually came alive. Others heard rustling, scratching, knocking, chirping, the other sounds of varying volume and tone. The most surprising thing he learned was it was not easy to see all this wildlife. Soon he would have to think about food. Savvarah was enough to eat in Savvarah. It would not be enough for a long journey. Savvarah slowly climbed down from the tree. He couldn't believe he could fall prey to any predator, but he could never be too careful. Besides, this way he stood a better chance of spotting other animals. Having found a magical guiding thread, continued his journey. Sometimes he stopped. He tried to follow some animal's insects with his eyes. He found strange plants in a rounded shape near a massive tree. Suddenly he heard the sound that broke the canopy of heterogeneous noise of nature. It was a scream. Not a cry of some creature without reason. Those were words he could not make out. Nearby was a creature endowed with intelligence. Without thinking long, Horace darted towards the noise. Past leaving the branch, and in front of him there was someone in a plain cloth dressed crest of the tree. Four beasts were approaching this creature slowly. You see a child. But it did not seem large. The fur was grayish and flecks of bright plumage. But I saw the prey tremble, and the beasts were about to rush forward at once. The aggressive snarl, the gradual approach, the crows, and confidence their movements gave them away. The same instant, Hers jumped on one of the raptors. The beast squealed, the second one tried to bite Savvarah, but Hush grabbed by the neck, throwing it further. Both beak growls but not connect, disappearing in the thicket of his brother. It turned out they did not connect animals that are bigger than them or capable of any serious fight. What? Who? First look at the creature it had rescued. Hush just faked horns ones up close, but no spikes, no points protrude from the creature's head. The girl looked like his former masters. Her skin was pale, and she seemed to be very young. She cowered against a tree looking at Chris. He took a step towards her. She flinched, squeezing her eyes shut like a mouth or something. A spell? Could this puny creature do magic? Chris was hungry. This girl meat would last him a long time. I'm gonna talk. This was the first intelligent creature Hurlis encountered outside of Savvarah. It didn't look like he knew how to conjure, otherwise she would be afraid of the beast. She certainly didn't seem dangerous. Taro appeased, realized that she understood his words. Further prepared for the fact that he would have difficulty making contact with the other creature was inhabited by this world. He was prepared that he would travel avoiding encounters, but these harmless creatures seemed to speak the same language. He should make sure. I won't harm you. You can talk? I can. Who are you? My name is Savvarah. No, I mean, I come from Savvarah. Pointed in the direction of Savvarah. Confused, the direction of her pointed with assumed movements. She looked at the lizard himself. You mean the Sun Forest? I guess. Who are you? What are you doing here? I'm Alice. I live not far from here. I went mushroom picking and the woodcats followed me. Woodcats? They are the beasts you fought off. They usually don't come close to towns. I've never seen such beasts. Aren't there any in the Sun Forest? I shook his head. Noticed the mention Savvarah was making the girl feel a delight in chance seemed to be some hysteria. What do you know about the Sun Forest? Nothing much really, just something from my grandfather's tales. You're strictly forbidden to go into that forest. They say no one ever comes back from it. My grandfather says the Sun Forest is ruled by a forest king, who obeyed by fearsome spirits of the forest. No one knows anything about Inkal. These legends must have been kept since the Horned One. Call. What? The name of the king of the forest. So he exists. The expression of the creature's face seemed rather weird. Facial expressions showed delight. Some glitter of her disbelief, but still there were shadows of the same fear in her eyes. To her, he was a monster. Wes only nodded. So you're a forest spirit, aren't you? Thought about it. It was an interesting thought. Yes, I'm a forest spirit. But why are you here? I rebel against the forest king. Really is almost a mimic, isn't he? Yes, he controls the clouds, the sun, the sky, the earth, and everything else. He rebelled against him. Why? Lewis involuntarily remembered Kira. He shook his head, pushing thought away. Now it's not to indulge in memories. Doesn't matter. Look, you don't have horns. Horns? Me? Yeah, on your head. I don't see them at all. No, I don't have horns. I thought this was gonna be... I was gonna meet the horned ones. Horned ones. They look like you, but they have horns. I don't know. There's no such thing here. I'm told to land on the other side of the world inhabited by talking beasts and people with horns. There's no doubt Horismon that so-called horns had approached the forest. The cellar of Mir's house contained relics of the failed invasion of Savvarah, but the horned ones. Laird had seen the armor of those horned ones, their weapons, and even their horned skeletons. It turns out the outside world really has changed a lot. Where are you going now? I don't know myself. Come with me to Call. Call, what is it? My hometown. Does everyone there look like you? Yes. Why are you taking me there? You should always turn the favor of the spirit who helped you. I've been told that otherwise it can bring misfortune. You saved me, no one will hurt you. Yes. It was risky now, Horace could feel completely safe anywhere at all. I really wanted to see these creatures lived. Curiosity surprised him himself. Alright, let's go to Katal.